Hi, my name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel, and Debbie and I just come into the end of probably our first real day working the allotments for probably a month and a half, maybe 2 months. All the rest of the time basically we've just spent harvesting, so it's been really nice actually. It's the first time I've really had the motivation to get stuck in to get everything sort of clean and tidy. And we've got about 80% of the way there today, so we're really happy about that. Anyway, I thought it'd be an ideal time to do a tour. In fact, this tour should have really been done towards the end of December, but I'm a little bit behind. Pretty pleased with where everything's going. I'm going to show you around. Okay, let's have a quick whirlwind tour. Lettuces are still doing really nicely. Very pleased with all of those in the polytunnel. Definitely growing better than the stuff that's outside. Started to pop little brassica plants in here. These are calabrese. And then further down here we've got the spinach, and started to plant little cauliflower plants in here in the gaps down the centre. And gradually, of course, we don't need all of this spinach later on in the season. We've got loads outside. So these cauliflowers and calabrese will take over. We've got more lettuces down here. All these self-seeded tomato plants which are still alive, which is kind of incredible. Lots of carrots in here. These are not growing at the moment, but hopefully they will pick up. And then I've got one oca plant left which I'm saving for next year's seed. Got a few lettuce plants in here. These are not great lettuces for spring, so I'll be replacing this bed with lettuces that I'm sowing tomorrow actually. And then some salad rocket, and these are my late season brassicas, which we'll start harvesting in a few weeks when the outdoor kales are kind of starting to finish and going to seed. Because these were planted in October, these won't go to seed until later on, sort of May time, and that's kind of when we'll be pulling these up, because we'll have the next succession of brassicas. Got a few carrots in here, mature ones ready for harvest. Got some chard, little experiment to see how well it grows in the polytunnel. I've got some little bits and pieces in here, brassicas and the like, and that's pretty much it. I started to buy my seeds in bulk from Mole Seeds and Grow Seed rather. Huge numbers of these, designed for microgreens or salad, kales and things. We're going to do seed swaps or gift seeds to other people on the allotment, because it's just so cost effective to buy them in these huge packets and huge numbers. This is the main plot. Everything is undercover. Just opened it up for the tour. So in here, spring cabbages, salad rocket, corn salad, and one of many lettuce beds. A few bits of brassicas just finishing. First batch of winter density destined for spring, and some radish. That's winter radish. In there, beetroot. In here, chard. Let's have a look. In here, French breakfast radish, red ruble kale, spinach. Always looks so scrappy at this time of year, but gosh, by February, what a difference we're going to see there. This bed is the asparagus, overwintering onions, in this little tunnel probably until March time, when I'm let them loose, because I need that tunnel for other things. French beans probably. More lettuces interplanted with spring onions. More lettuces. We'll start harvesting these very soon. Lettuces for spring down there. Any babies. Baby spinach. Soon be ready in February again. Baby beetroot. Really happy with these. For late spring. More lettuces wrapped around with mizuna. This was all spring onions about a week ago, but we've finished harvesting the spring onions now, so it's just mizuna. More baby lettuces for spring. They're winter density again with mizuna down the front. Spring cabbages, just planted those last week. They're under fleece. They're really romping away now. Extremely scrappy bed of perpetual strawberries. A few trees down the middle. And then this is all field beans with spring onions around the edges. And this was going to be the calabrese and summer purple sprouting broccoli bed. I'm looking forward to that bed because we really love calabrese. This was really the super early kale bed. Obviously, because it was planted the earliest of all of them, it's now looking the scrappiest of all of them. This is going to be cleared pretty soon because this is going to be the onion, or one of many onion and shallot beds. And there's a few kales and all various bits and pieces in there. There's some dazzling blue kales at the back there, and some more lettuces for spring. These are black-seeded Simpson. A little bit of very scrappy chard, needs a good clean up. And then the last of the lettuce beds that we're currently harvesting from. And this bed, and I can't even remember what it's called, I'll put it in the description. But anyway, I planted it too late and I doubt whether I'll get a harvest out of it. So I'm looking forward to getting that bed pulled and replanted. A mini greenhouse full of overwintering brassicas. These are my sprouts that I plant for leaves. These are early calabrese, a few more cauliflowers. These are spring cabbages and Romanesco cauliflowers, more cabbages, more cauliflowers, more calabrese, more cabbages, sprouts that are going to be planted for leaves. So that's the end of my ugly plot. It looks a lot nicer in spring when all the plastic's gone. Forgot gooseberries, need a good prune. Some more gooseberries around here, but I think I'm going to get rid of these because I've had a lot of problems with mould on them, like grey mould. So I think I'm going to put blueberries in there. Romanesco cauliflowers, all looking really nice. A few scrappy sprouts, and then this is the carrot bed. That's the only bit of carrots that's left in it. After the carrots were finished, it was all replanted with these January King cabbages, which are not looking all that impressive, but anyway, they are what they are. This whole bed actually next year is going to be Eskimo carrots. They're the ones that keep in the ground over winter. You still plant them in May, but anyway, I've got high hopes for that because winter carrots are always a bit of a challenge for me. On the outer edge of my plot now, and this is the flower border, and Debbie's just been clearing it up. And I've got a lovely little cherry tree here, which I've got high hopes for. And I've just started, these are the perennial kales, I've just started supporting them, and I'm using these bungee cords because one of the problems with these is they always seem to break off in high winds, and I thought bungee cords are the perfect solution for that. Gives them a bit of flex and less likely to break them. Got a nice little pear tree there, and then I basically plant up the pockets in this pallet fence, and I've got all sort of alpines down the top. Of course, they're all struggling a little bit at this time of year. And then I've got another tree there, I think that's a plum, and a couple of apple trees, and thornless blackberry which needs tying in, another apple tree, and another perennial kale. Debbie's done a lovely job of that. So this is Debbie's plot. She's done quite a lot of clearing up. So very soon we'll be clearing these beds. These are Calabrese, Romanesco cauliflowers. We've still got a few actually that coming on quite nicely. And we really love Romanesco cauliflowers, so we tend to have quite a lot of those going. And we've got herb beds and Chinese cabbage, which are never going to grow again. Another nice herb bed here. Some cabbages in here, swing cabbages. Last little bit of radicchio. And this is a lovely bed actually of purple sprouting broccoli. Looking forward to that. And we've got all the black and red currants down here. This bed's going to be repurposed for asparagus. And we've got some perennial kale, lots and lots of blackberries and other berries, all sorts of different types which I can never remember. Another perennial kale there, a few strawberries in there. More, I can't remember what these are. I think these are winter cauliflowers. And then spring onions, herbs, and then all the others are various fruit trees around the periphery. We're just arriving at Jennie's plot. Jennie's my middle daughter. We all work together on the plots. We don't make any artificial distinctions between them since we all eat from all of them. So what have we got here? I think autumn fruiting raspberries that need cutting back. Various berries, and then all down this side we've got fruit trees. We've got apples, plums, pears, and lots more apples. These apples all got bitter pip, I think. Bitter pip, something like that. Anyway, it's that sort of mottling on the skin that you might be able to see. I think it's due to a lack of calcium, so I'm going to try and sort that out. We leave them on the floor anyway for the birds, and as a result we don't get a huge amount of damage on the brassicas. So I've got a lovely selection of brassicas here. We've been picking so many sprouts, but we've got quite a lot left, which is good because they're in good condition, and so they're going to keep us going all the way through January and February. And then we've got the colettes, and these are giant. We really love the colettes, even better than sprouts in my opinion. Huge plants. A little bit of pigeon damage on these, but loads and loads. We've pretty much finished all of our red cabbages. I think we've only got about 10 red cabbages left, but that's why all these beds look as if they've got lots of space in them, because there are a lot of Calabrese plants interplanted in here and a lot of red cabbages planted in here. I'm not putting Calabrese plants in this bed again because timings just don't work. The Calabrese is ready for harvest whilst the nets are still on the rest of the brassica bed, and so I keep on having to open the nets up, which means that cabbage whites can get in, etc, etc. So it's going to just be autumn stroke winter cabbages, sprouts and colettes and winter kales in this bed. This is going to be the brassica bed this year. It's currently full of field beans. Field beans are putting nitrogen, pumping nitrogen into the soil, and we harvest these field beans. We just pinch out the tips like that, and we'll eat that tip, pretty much like spinach. They grow really prolifically. We think it's the best way to get a spinach like green in December, January and February, and we still keep on eating them basically up until we harvest, clear them all and prepare this as the brassica bed in about the beginning of April time, something like that. This bed is going to be the squash bed. Basically these beds just alternate. We are not able to do a 3 or 4 year rotation. We do a 2-year rotation, and we survived so far. This is the garlic bed, and it has been incredibly slow. We are actually getting garlic coming up now. Can't probably see it at this distance. And this is the broad bean bed, and we are also getting broad beans coming up finally. It's been a heck of a wait, but yeah, the garlic is finally coming up. All these sticks are to keep the dogs and the foxes off, otherwise they just dig it up. But when you put the sticks down, they don't seem to like it, so that's a plus. These are the strawberry beds. Just weeded these today. Little autumn kale bed that's pretty much finished now. Another strawberry bed. It's got shallots down the centre. They're just starting to come through again. Really late. Goodness knows what's happened. And what have we got here? Cauliflowers, winter cauliflowers, all down here. We thought that was a cauliflower, but it looks more like a purple sprouting broccoli to me. What else have I got here? Little cabbages, absolutely rubbish, these cabbages. I'm not a big fan really of sowing brassicas in the summer. It's just so variable in terms of the weather conditions, and none of them, as you can see, have really thrived. By comparison, the same red cabbages that I sowed in the middle of March, that we've just finished harvesting, were 3 or 4 times the size of these. So yeah, try and find something better to plant in the ground. And then here we've got purple sprouting broccoli. Again, it's been a terrible year for all the brassicas planted in summer. These are tiny little plants by comparison with what we're used to, but still we'll get something off them. So I hope you liked a quick video, and please let me know if you saw anything that you think I could improve on, any hints and tips, things like that. I'd love to hear about it. See you soon.